one of the things that the executor of the estate and any heir or survivor of the person that has passed, say the child or grandchild, might think about is, what am I responsible for? Am I responsible for their debt, and what things do I need to handle? As always, I am giving this information to you for educational purposes and to provide you a 101 or basic understanding of this process. If you have any questions related to any of this, speak with an estate attorney, speak with a tax attorney, or some CPA to review these details. From speaking with collection agencies and other debts associated with an estate that I've personally been handling, you as the executor, you as the heir, are not directly responsible for any debt associated with that person. I will repeat that. You as the individual are not responsible for any debt associated with the person that has passed. That means that any account that is a joint account with that person that passed and your name, your individual accounts, are not subject to pay any debts associated to the person that has passed. The only account and entity that is responsible for the debt of the person that has passed is the estate itself. That is the estate account. That account is something that is created after probate is finished, when you get the letter of testimony or the letter of administration from the court, from that county, that names you as the personal representative, which allows you to open up an estate account associated to the person. So as the example, if the person's name was John Doe, that'll allow you to open an estate account for John Doe, and you will be able to now deposit checks and pay bills as the estate of John Doe. That means the conversations from the other videos that we've discussed previously of having that separate account that has maybe your name or their name before they pass, those are technically not responsible for paying any of the debt. If it's an account that had their name on it exclusively, that is part of the estate account. That is responsible for paying their debt. If it's a joint account, it is not officially responsible for paying the debt. It is the estate's responsibility for paying the debt. So if you have it where a credit card is only in the person's name exclusively, not a joint credit card, that credit card is to be paid for by their estate, not by, say, the person's estate and or the significant other's estate or the person that is still around. So to use it in a more accurate one, say it's a husband and wife. The husband passes away, they have joint credit cards and they have joint checking accounts. They also have it where the husband had individual credit cards and the wife had individual credit cards. The wife who has survived will be responsible for the debts that are in both of their names and in her name. The credit cards that are in his name only, she is not officially responsible for them from the joint checking accounts. The estate account is responsible for it. And again, look this stuff up, speak with people to verify this. But this is from what I've seen and from my conversations on that. And again, one of the other components on that is that if, say, on his credit card, it was covering specific household charges, then pay the bill. Don't have it where you let it go to collections and have to try to get it where you're paying pennies on the dollar or working through the estate process. Just pay the thing and then work through it to handle it appropriately. Don't argue on it, because you know the funds, you know that those bills need to get done. But you as an individual are not responsible for their debt. That is a very important thing to understand, Because the fact is that a lot of people think they have to pay all the credit cards, everything, because they're the executor. You're not responsible for their debt. If they racked up $10,000, $20,000 in credit cards, there was fraud associated with their account. You as an individual or even as the executor are not responsible for paying their credit card. Let that stuff go to collections. Let it be reviewed. If there's not funds in the estate to pay for them, let it where the credit card handles it appropriately. Credit cards, as you might be aware, are considered unsecured debt. They are not secure debt. Unsecured debt means that the only thing they have to go after you is potentially imprisonment, fines, liens on other things that have actual value. When you pass, they don't have all those things available to you because those potentially are now going to beneficiaries or to a trust. So those are not readily accessible in the estate. You need to understand that you do not need to pay all of those bills. And again, talk with an estate attorney, talk with a CPA, talk with a tax attorney. But you will hear this repeated over and over again from collections departments or collection agencies. You are not responsible for their debts. This might have been the case back in the old days, but at least in the United States right now, you are not responsible for their debt. So keep that in mind when going through everything to make sure about what you need to pay and what you don't. Your main objective for paying things right away are things in order to sustain your quality of life after they pass, such as car insurance, home insurance, electric, gas, water, basic things. If there was some type of trip and there was a credit card that only was paying for travel down the line with, say, Carnival or Princess Cruise or airline tickets or hotels or rental cars, and you had that, and they pass, you didn't take advantage of any of that stuff, don't pay it. Let it go to collections and then worry about it on the back end. Because again, you're not responsible for their debt. Keep track of these items because again, as mentioned in other videos, and potentially have already been mentioned on this one, the debt collectors will do their due diligence to work on trying to claim or reclaim any portion of the debt they can. Potentially pennies on the dollar. They will have it where they will file with the city and the county that the probate has been opened up for the person. So say if probate was initiated in Florida or New York, they will find out about that and then tack on the debt to the estate in that local area potentially. And again, that's why the debt is the estate's responsibility, not you as an individual. If you have any questions about this detail, again, feel free to leave comments below this video. I'm happy to review them and get back to you. Feel free to speak with an estate attorney, a tax attorney, a CPA to review any of this information. As always, like, subscribe to this channel, or forward this to anybody that you feel can benefit from this information. And I will see you in the next video.